Hey guys, welcome to your next video where we're going to talk about graphing functions. This is a pickup conversation from today's class lesson. We began learning about how to graph linear lines, specifically in slope-intercept format. If you missed those notes because you were absent, I did send them out and remind, so please make sure you get those. If you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to me. We were talking about in class how slope-intercept form gives us free information. We specifically were talking about how it gives us the slope and it gives us the y-intercept. Now, not every formatting gives us the same type of free information. Another version of a linear line is very popular. It's called standard formatting, and it's where they put the x and the y on the same side. We had a lot of exposure to this in the last video when we were looking for solutions with the two variables. So you had to plug in and then tell me what the response was. Well, we can also graph when it's in that style of formatting. And we're going to get different information, and we're going to have to do a little work to do that. Part of this video is to get you guys to realize that there is a surefire way to graph every single time. I don't care if you know what the picture looks like. I don't care how crazy the equations get. If you learn to create a T-chart, you will be able to graph any function whatsoever. So between the combination of knowing how to create the T-chart and then knowing how to actually plot an ordered pair with the x and the y, you'll be able to create any of these graphs. And remember, we have 9 to 10 functions that we're learning this year. I'm going to kind of do a really fast intro of 3 of them, and just to show you how the T-chart works. And as we move forward, we'll learn how to work with those even more. So the first equation I want to learn how to graph is 5x minus 2y equals 10. The two main components that I'm going to be after for most of my graphs are going to be the y-intercept and the x-intercept. And we talked about those in another video. And we talked about how those two things we know one of the values of. We know in the x-intercept the y value is going to be 0, and we know in the y-intercept the x value is going to be 0. So when we do that, it kind of makes the math really easy. So let me show you the setup for our T-chart. So you're going to pick some values, okay? X and Y. And I'm hoping that you guys have done this before, so it should be no problem there. Especially if I want to start right here with finding these intercepts, just to show you, we need 2 points, we'll connect, we'll call it a day. So, in fact, let me hold off on that T-chart, I'll use it on the next one. If I'm going to find the x-intercept here, I'm going to go ahead and say 5x minus 2 times 0 is 10. That's going to give me 5x equals 10, and that's going to give me x equals 2. By the way, if what I just did was like, whoa, I don't know where she got all that from and how she moved from step to step, please come see me in my office hours. This is something we need to talk about. It's called solving for a single variable. If you want to go and Google that or watch a separate video, again, solving for a single variable. It's your orders of operations. Anyways, so now what we know is our x-intercept is at 2, 0. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to plot my x-intercept on the x-axis at 2. So we get that guy. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and find my y-intercept. So let's go ahead and replace some stuff again. Put my y back into the problem because that's who I'm after, and replace my x with 0. So that's going to get me negative 2y equals 10. My y-intercept is at negative 5. So come over here, 0, negative 5. I'm going to plot it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y-intercept at negative 5. That's the guy we got practice graphing in class today. I have 2 points. Remember, if we followed my 3 steps with the slope, the only difference is instead of saying we're going to graph the y-intercept, instead of using slope, we went ahead and found the x-intercept, and now I have 2 points that I can come together and create a line with. So come straight down, connect, and call it a day. I've officially graphed a line in standard form. So you're going to do that by replacing each one of the y's and each one of the x's with 0, and then solve for whoever's left over. So that's when it comes to graphing a linear line in standard formatting. We'll get some more practice of that in class. You'll have 2 more videos, one covering the quadratic, one covering absolute value functions. Thanks, guys.